that every day belongs to you. Sunlight and darkness too. In the safety of my solitude, Simon said it, Arthur too, that every day belongs to you.
Okay, so we're moving on to baubles. So when I do my bauble, this is what I do. So I take this stitch that is going to have the bauble in it off the left needle, and then I pass my bauble color down below the main color. So the floats are lower and underneath the stitches of the blue, the main color. And then I kind of stretch my stitches like this so that the float between each bauble back here, and by float I mean these floats of yarn that have to stretch from bauble to bauble in the bauble color. We want them to be long enough so that when we are wearing our shawl and we want to stretch it, that those floats aren't too short and cause us to not be able to like comfortably stretch our shawl out. So, oh dang, this is not the best crochet hook. I'm going to find another one. Because it's blue and my yarn is blue, I'm going to get a different crochet hook for you. Okay, so that's better. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to pull my working bauble yarn in front of my knitting needles, so they're kind of behind everything. And then I've got my crochet hook through the stitch that the bauble is going to be happening in. My knitting needles are just sitting back there. And then I'm going to create tension on my forefinger. This is how I do tensioning anyways. If you guys have a way that you like to tension, you can do that. You just want to make sure that you can give yourself slack fairly easily, so I'm able to stretch that out if I need to, because we are using yarn up as we make the bauble, and we don't want to have to readjust our tension over and over again on our finger. We want it just to nicely kind of slide off our finger. So what I'm doing now is I'm going under from left to right under my bauble yarn and through my knitted stitch, and then again do that, but take it through the first brown stitch that you just made. So now you've got 2 brown chains, and now we're going to start making our bauble. So you're going to go same action, going under from left to right, but this time we're going to go through the blue stitch and then under and over. Now the over action is going to be from right to left this time. So before we were going like this time we're going to go under and come from right to left and hook it through the blue stitch. And you want there to be, like when you're pulling it through the blue stitch, you want there to be some space. So you want this loop of brown between your stitch and your needle to have some air between it, because that's the air of your bauble. The less that you leave space there, the smaller your bauble is going to be. So it might take you a few tries to get a bauble that you like when you're first starting. So we've got 3 stitches on our crochet hook now. Now we're going to add another, do the same thing. So we're going through our blue stitch, around from right to left, and then through our blue stitch again. So we just added 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We just added 2 more. And now we need 7 in total, so we're going to do that again. We go under and over from left to right. And sometimes what I do is I secure my yarn that's on my crochet hook with my finger here before I go into my blue stitch. And then again from right to left and through the blue stitch. Okay, and then once you have 7 lines of loops on your crochet hook, you go from left to right under your working bobble yarn again and pull it through all 7 stitches. And this is where it's also helpful to have comfortable sized loops, as I was saying, with kind of air between the crochet hook and the blue stitch, because otherwise it'll be harder for you to bring that yarn that I just brought through all 7 stitches. So I've brought my yarn through the 7 stitches and I have this loop here. And I'm just going to secure it by taking another loop through it. And then I place that loop onto my left needle and knit that needle with my contrasting color. Okay, so my brown yarn, my bubble yarn goes back, and then I work with my contrasting yarn, which is going to loop over my brown yarn. So you don't want the brown yarn to be here, and then you want your bobble yarn to be down so that you can make your contrasting yarn your background color. It just makes things tidier in the back. These are the floats for the bobbles, these brown floats here. Okay, so let me know if you guys have any questions. You can comment below or email me at jana@everlyyarn.ca. Today I'm knitting with my Everly yarn, Everly Fingering, and it's organic merino, and I've dyed it with arbutus and walnut in the brown, and then these 2 blue colorways are natural indigo. All plant-based dyes. Have a wonderful day.
The one most loved, the one most loved. The one